Hey guys, welcome back to video number 3. In the first video, Dr. Raphael gave you guys some amazing tangible tips when it comes to nutrition and how to properly fuel that body. The second video, we dove into mindset and how we handle the stresses of life and how our nervous system really processes those stresses. And depending upon how we handle that, can make a world of a difference in our health. And now this third installment is one of the other key foundational pieces and requirements that all of us need when it comes to our body and our health, and that's movement. Right? Most of us are so sedentary. Now look at our kids nowadays, and sitting in computers and phones and laptops and video games and all these other things. To even us as adults and sitting at our desks for so many hours a day. It was never how our body was designed to. There's actually a quote I heard recently that said, sitting is the new smoking. And that might sound kind of crazy at first, but there's actually some pretty powerful research that shows the detrimental impact that sitting can have. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the research, but I want to dive in here first, and I want to give you guys some tangible stuff here as I share our screen together so you guys can see what we're looking at here. So if you guys can see this now, there are a few key pieces that I want to dive into. And before we dive in, one thing that's critical to know is there's some powerful research that shows that our metabolism slows down by 90% after just 30 minutes of sitting. That's pretty crazy. And so if keeping a certain amount of weight off or losing weight is part of one of your goals, sitting and excessive sitting is one of the biggest killers of our metabolism. Now, there was a study, just one other thing to share with you before we kind of dive in here, with a study out of Britain actually, and they looked at workers that spent 6 to 8 hours a day sitting compared to those that just spent a few hours a day sitting. Right? So basically spending most of your day sitting or spending half or less of your day sitting. And what they found was that those that spent 6 to 8 hours a day sitting at a desk and a position, for their work, they had a twice or over twice the risk of developing type 2 diabetes as well as cardiovascular disease. So that's significant. They also found a 13% increased risk in development of cancer and a 17% increase in overall mortality rate or death rate. So this is a serious matter. Too much sitting is not good for us, not just because we may get tired or have pain or discomfort when we sit for so long, but really for how our body functions at work, it's really not good. And so you might be sitting here thinking or watching this at home saying, well, that's all well and good, but I have to be at a computer all day for my work or for my job. And so what can I do about that? The best bet is going to be some type of a standing desk or some type of option where you can be standing in a certain position and get out of that constant sitting position all day. Sometimes there are certain standing desks or certain things that can go on top of a tabletop to allow that to go into a standing position. We have those here at the office for the girls. And we even had it to where many offices with a doctor's note will get those for you. And so if that's something that you need from us, let us know and we'll make that happen for you. Okay? Even if you could start with 2 hours a day and work up to 4 hours a day of standing, that would be an absolute game changer long-term for you. Now, before we move on, I want to just address here on the bottom this quote that says 90% of the daily stimulation to the brain is generated by the movement of the spine. And that's not Dr. Raphael, that's not me, that's not any other chiropractor saying that. That is actually from Dr. Roger Sperry. This guy is a PhD and won the Nobel Prize for brain research because of what he discovered. And so if you understand that again, that 90% of the daily stimulation of the brain is generated in the movement of the spine, that is crazy. More so than our organs, more so than our muscles, more so than anything else. Our spine moving is so important for our brain's health. And so that's such an important thing to keep in mind as we talk about this. It's so much more than just the exercise component. It's really a brain component too. Now, as you look here, we know that your body's designed to move. We talked about the importance of the brain, that really organisms, all life is designed for movement. And so that's just a critical component. All of human history, our bodies have been moving. We've been so much more active. But now, since we've had computers, desks, cars, all these different things, it's increased the amount of sitting tenfold by how much we're spending sitting compared to how much we used to spend sitting. So moving is critical, and it's always been critical for us. When it comes to optimal movement, there's a few key pieces to address here. And so the first one is being mobile, right? Mobility speaks to this component of actually having the ability to have everything moving how it's supposed to from a mobile standpoint, right? When you were a kid, you could do the splits. You could, bend down and touch your toes, no problem. And now maybe you've noticed over the last weeks, months, years, or even decades that your body doesn't move nearly as well as it used to. And so that's a lot of times because we develop these imbalances and patterns from all of our daily postural stresses, that forward head posture, the forward rounding position of being at a desk or a computer, so much sitting, all of those things. And so we do an amazing workshop that's led by a mobility coach that we bring in here at the office. So that would be a great thing for you guys to attend. It's a complete game changer for you, so you can try these things at home or even at the gym. But these things could include things like foam rolling. It can include things like using a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball to work into things like your traps, into the spinal muscles, into things around your glutes or into the legs. It can be such a game changer. So mobility work is important. The next is lift heavy. Now, when we say lift heavy, that is such a relative term, right? Lifting heavy for myself versus lifting heavy for Dr. Raphael versus lifting heavy for one of our 80-year-old patients or one of our pregnant moms are all going to be different. But what's important to realize is that when we're all designed to have a certain amount of strength to us, and that's a really important component. Oftentimes, a lot of men love doing the weightlifting, and a lot of women love doing the cardio. That's obviously just a very kind of broad generalization, but there's a lot of truth to that. And so we're designed to do all of these things. So doing some type of weight training is critical. If you don't know where to start, come talk to us. We'd love to be a resource and point you in the right direction to find somebody to help you start wherever you are, okay? The next part is going fast. And when we say go fast, that there's a lot of components to that. That's that cardiovascular component, right? When you're exercising, you're doing cardiovascular output, you're going to be driving oxygen into the cells. We're having our hearts beating faster, our lungs are breathing faster. Our body's required to do so much more, and that's really, really great for our health. Now, the one key tidbit that I would recommend when it comes to this is don't do the same stagnant time or pace the whole way. A lot of times when we get to cardiovascular output, people will get on the treadmill or they'll go for a walk and they'll go the same pace the entire time. It's not as good for you, whether you're jogging or walking or whatever. It's much better to do some type of combination of a sprint and then a walk, or a fast jog and then a walk, to change up and do more interval type work. That's going to be much better based on what the research shows cardiovascularly for you. So really try that. And the last one is recovery. When it comes to recovery, when we talk that, what we're really talking about is this aspect of, could be anything from sleep, could be things like orthopedic massages, could be things like mobility work, which is more of an active recovery. It's giving our body that rest, that recuperation in between. Could be something that I love to do, Dr. Raphael loves to do, is get in the sauna. Right? These different types of things are all going to be helpful. There are great health benefits, and they're great for that recovery in between your movement, in between your workouts. Okay? So try those. If you need other recommendations, let us know. Those are all a great place for you to start, and really think about incorporating all four of these things into what you do. Okay? The next one here is stretches and exercises. There should be a document that all of you guys can see that should be attached to this. And it's going to look something like this on the front and like this on the back. We put together our skills. I took photo in high school, and Dr. Raphael wishes he was a model. And so we put our talents into one place and created this for you guys. So these top 3 exercises are going to be best for addressing the upper cross syndrome, the challenges that happen when we're in these positions. So working to open all of this up for the neck, for the chest, for shoulders. And then the fourth exercise on here, as well as the 4 exercises on the back, are going to be more for the lower back, for the hips, for your legs, to really help the lower spine and pelvis from all the sitting and combating that. There's clear instructions on how to do those, and there's pictures attached, so those should be pretty self-explanatory. But if you have any trouble with any of those, or you have any questions, let Dr. Raphael and I know, and we'll be happy to show you in the office how you can better utilize those, okay? Now, as we finish up this section, I just want to remind you that the more that you do all 4 of these different things together, the better off you're going to be, right? So movement, mindset, nutrition, and your function, right? Your adjustments and this proper nervous system function, it all works together as a team, right? This quote says, having a clear brain-body connection allows the full integration of all the requirements. Each is dependent on neurological function, and inherent in each requirement is the need for synergistic activity. In order for the body to work together, a proper nerve supply is paramount. So that's a critical component for you guys. And so when it comes to that, be really, really clear on that it's so important to add all these in together, and they all work really as a team. Now, when you do all these, it's really going to lead to that optimal level of health for you guys, for you, for your family, so you guys can all live your best life together, not only now, but for the long term, because that's what you guys all want. So I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this 3rd installment, the movement installment. Your code letter for the code for the special free gift is the letter S on this one. And so you got a code letter in the first video, a code letter in the second video. The code letter in the 3rd video is S. And remember, the 4th video is going to give you that last letter. And when you come into the office and share that letter with the front staff, they're going to give you an amazing $40 value gift, something that Dr. Raphael and I both use personally every day. That's going to be an awesome thing for you guys. We want to reward you guys and give you something awesome, special for watching these videos and getting this great content. So have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.